Hi guys, okay, so, little known fact about me is I am diabetic type 1. This is not something which has come around from me eating too much sugar. For those of you wondering, mine is genetic, even though no one in my immediate family is diabetic type 1. So I don't really understand how that works, but that's what I've been told. This isn't just a video where I am trying to get sympathy from people, not at all. Maybe. I mean, if you feel sorry for me, then a like rating would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Pretty much, I just want to cover the fact of I am stood here today talking to my camera, and that has no significance to you whatsoever. But if I put into context that last year I was going through depression and I had no friends, nobody who I felt like I could talk to, no motivation and no goal in life, and then being diabetic on top of that, I was in a very rough area of my life. Like now I'm fine, I'm happy. I have my occasional sort of like downers, but most of the time I'm fine. I am still the same old me, just slightly more annoying. To put it into context, diabetes is where the pancreas stops producing something called insulin, and insulin is used to convert glucose into glycose, which is where you get energy from. And I've probably completely messed up this explanation, but that's how I remember it. So yeah, science. Pretty much every day I wake up, I test my blood sugars, I inject myself, and I get on with my day. I do this about 4 times a day. And honestly, I don't feel like people can look at me and sort of say, oh look, he's diabetic. Because it's one of those things where unless you know, you would never know, if that makes any sense. Like, unless someone told you that I'm diabetic, I don't think you would be able to gather that I'm diabetic unless you saw me taking my blood sugars or injecting myself. From what I'm aware, there are no really big like YouTubers who are diabetic as well, or not that I know of. I haven't really researched it, to be honest. I haven't researched it at all. But from what I'm thinking now, no one who I watch is diabetic. And this made me think about how a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of it and how it works and all that stuff. So this is gonna be my little brief explanation of what I do. Thing is, if I was more prepared, I would have my little like gear with me, but I don't have it, so we're gonna have to do without. Going back to the sort of the intro of the video, when I said like I'm still here, pretty much if I don't monitor myself, if I don't regulate my blood sugars, if I don't control what I do, it will impact me very badly. It will end up with me being in hospital and maybe worse. I don't know, but that's it. Like, it can, if it's not controlled, it can be bad. Obviously, me being me, I took that as a challenge to not kill myself. Yeah, pretty much as soon as the doctors told me I was diabetic, my reaction was, oh shit, I'm diabetic. Then about a week later, after I'd stopped crying, mainly because I literally had no more moisture in my body to let out, I realised there's nothing I can do about this. Like, I can sit here and attempt to cry, or I can just get on with it. I mean, what can I do? What does sitting here and moping do about it? So I just got on with life, and yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well. I took this look on life and I use it most days. Where's the point of sitting and moping? It's not going to do anything. Just get off your ass and do something about it. And that is the kind of thing I live by now. Like, don't just sit back and let life pass you by, do something. Yeah, that was kind of, I don't want to say inspirational, but it was probably the most inspirational thing I've said. So, being diabetic kind of sucks, but in the past I have blamed my diabetes and been able to get out of things. I've been able to skip the queue. And honestly, this is something which is quite useful. If I'm very, very hungry and there's a massive queue, I just say, sorry, I'm diabetic, I need to eat. And half the time that is actually true. I need to eat. If I don't eat, it's very dangerous. And it is useful. But in the past, I have kind of abused that. and honestly I have no regrets. I got to eat before everyone else, so yeah. Can I just say, I'm a horrible person and I know it, but you know, I have this thing, so I might as well use it to my advantage. So the concept of this is, I regulate myself every day. I check my bloods, I inject. This goes on at least 4 times a day or pretty much whenever I eat. I have to regulate how many carbs I have. Depending on what carbs I have to inject a certain amount of insulin. The insulin then converts my sugars into energy. The energy is then used to power my body throughout the day and means that I don't fall asleep when I don't need to. That actually made sense, oh my god. Wrapping this up to a close now because I have nothing else to talk about. I'm diabetic, deal with it, I get on with life, nothing changes. I've been diabetic since I was 11 and I am now 18, so I think I'm doing pretty well, to be honest. Thank you so much for watching. If this was at all interesting, then I will be willing to answer any questions that you have about it, or I will create another video on it at some point in the future. Don't know. But yeah, that's me. And I'm pretty awesome. Thank you for watching, I'll see you never, and goodbye. So the concept of this is, I regulate myself, I inject myself, I check my blood sugars, I take my bloods every day, at least 4 times a day, and I inject myself multiple times a day every time I eat pretty much. I have to regulate how many carbs I have when, depending on what... Fuck, I messed that up. Damn it.